Well, hello, welcome to Tarot to a T, Pisces. Today's reading will be for April 2023. And I apologize for being so late. I just couldn't get all the readings done by April 1st. And it wasn't just you, it was a couple others too. So I appreciate your patience. And if you have joined me before, welcome back. And you might notice the layout is just a little bit different. I am going to pull the first eight cards to tell me a little bit about what's going on with you in April 2023. And then I'll pull separate cards for cards of advice. That's the only thing that really changed, just to let you know. And if this is the first time to my channel, welcome. Glad to see you here. I do want to mention I will be opening up for private readings in the next couple of weeks, so please look out in the description box for information on that if you're interested, okay? Let's go ahead and see what's going on with you. Ace of clubs, nice start. 4 of clubs. Wow, look at all the clubs. 3 of clubs. Holy crap. I don't think I've ever seen all... I mean, it's almost in succession. We're only missing the 2 of clubs, which is actually not a great card. So, wow. Okay. Give me a second to take this in. So you got some changes going on here out of a period of stagnancy. There's some kind of need for some kind of change to occur in your life. That's the first thing that's really popping out here. And there's a little bit of struggle and fight involved with that. Perhaps how to implement the change, or perhaps you are, I don't know, fighting or struggling with somebody else that's involved. Maybe you've implemented, I'm hearing you implemented some new rules, or you set some new boundaries or terms. And you're getting a little bit of pushback on that. But what's exciting is you've come out of this period of stagnancy and you're on this new start with the Ace of Clubs. Now, the Ace of Clubs does talk about acquiring new knowledge or skill. I think in this case, I think it's very much about you being... It's kind of an emotional subject matter, but you're not being emotional, which is interesting for Pisces, because you're a water sign and you tend to... kind of swim around in your emotions, okay? Well, let's put it that way. So maybe you're learning how to navigate this without being so over the top emotional, without letting it affect you as deeply. Or let's say not as deeply, but in other words, any negativity that comes out in this, you're learning not to let it, get at you, not to get under your skin. And I only say that because of the struggle. But ultimately, this is leading to a more balanced home life. It's bringing stability and some kind of solid foundation that obviously needed to be there. Let's see what else goes. See if you have any more clubs. Well, you got the 4 of diamonds. That's pretty fantastic. 8 of hearts. There's our emotion. There's our emotional energy. The 7 of spades. And the 6 of spades. Now, you notice something right offhand? 1 of each suit. I don't think I've ever seen that either. This is a pretty interesting, magical reading here. Okay. Give me a second to take it in, though. Also, what you have going on is some kind of windfall. That's the first thing that popped out here. This 4 diamonds talks about some kind of windfall. Now, if it's not a pile of money in your bank account, there's some kind of abundance that's being laid at your feet. You are being cautioned against overspending, though, with the 4 diamonds. But again, the 4s emphasize that stability in the home and the lifestyle, being able to meet your obligations, that kind of thing. Think of it as the 4 corners holding up the house. That's how I always visualize the 4s, okay? What do I grab here first? Okay, the 8 of hearts. Now, interestingly, you're also having a good time. This is about going out and celebrating with friends, just spending time with family. There's also potential here to meet somebody special with the Eight of Hearts. So it's all good. It's all positive. Whatever social life you have going on, it's very good in April, okay? But there's something that's going to be revealed. This is about that, some kind of hidden information, a hidden fact. Could be about a person, could be about yourself, like an epiphany of sorts that you come to realize something about yourself. It might have been connected to this change that needed to happen. Something occurred to you that needed to, like I said, set a new boundary, define some new terms, probably with another person. I mean, not necessarily if you live on your own. It's just about maybe setting up a new routine for yourself. And there's a little bit of struggle, perhaps, in just, keeping to the routine and not falling back into old habits. But that Seven of Spades just tells me that you've recently, or you're about to come upon some kind of hidden truth, okay? And it's led to great personal growth, and I could have guessed that from everything I've seen here. This is quite fantastic. I see you having, on a level, this is very successful for you. Whatever truth was revealed, or whatever you recognize that needed to change, personal growth does occur on all kinds of levels, physically, mentally, emotionally. But it also indicates that the sixth, that you're going to have other opportunities coming your way. As a result of it, you've kind of unfrozen wherever you were stuck. You're no longer stuck, so that gear is not frozen anymore. You see what I mean? That's kind of a metaphor. When we take our energy out of one area, it frees up energy in other areas. So that's good. That's progress. What else can you tell me about Pisces in their April 2023 situation or message that needs to come out? Eight of Spades. There was some kind of pressure around work. Now, this change that occurred could have been that. Maybe you are being asked to do more than your job duties entailed, Where I work recently, somebody left a department. For example, this doesn't necessarily have to be your situation, but somebody left a department for whatever reasons, and the other person was taking on their job responsibilities in addition to their own, and they were like, I'm not doing that. So it's like doing twice the work for the same pay, and they weren't on that page at all. They were like, so they went and found another position, and I just learned they left. So now both people are gone. See, that's what happens. That's what happens when you put too much pressure on one person. Something's got to break. Either the employer has to compromise and figure something out, or, we're not machines. Sorry, don't mean to rant about that, but I've seen a lot of that occurring lately. But nonetheless, there's some kind of work situation that you're working on, perhaps relieving that pressure. Again, it could be overwork, being asked to work too many hours. Maybe that's what that struggle is about, like learning how to step back, define those boundaries, and then keep on those boundaries, keep to it and not give in to pressure or temptation or whatever the case may be. You got to stick to your guns, so to speak. What else can you tell me here? The Four of Hearts. You do have a lot of support around you. This is about feeling connected, feeling cared for, especially around the home. You have a huge emphasis on fours here. You almost got all of them out. We'll see if the other one shows up. But you're feeling very supported and connected, so that's very, very good. Your home life is very, very stable, I see at this time. The Ten of Diamonds, nice. Success and prosperity. Now, you could have, recently achieved some kind of bar that you set for yourself. Let's say you worked for a company for a few years and you wanted to achieve this level of promotion or, job responsibilities, or some kind of pay that you were expecting. Well, you've reached that with the Ten of Diamonds. It's also the closing off of a chapter, so that tells me whatever you achieved, it's probably there's not much more to be gained in this situation. It could be related to that work. I'm feeling that very strongly it's related to work. Some kind of job situation that has just, it's reached its potential. It's not going to go any further for you. I mean, you could stay there. I'm not saying you need to leave. But if you're looking to expand, grow, move in different areas, make more money, that's not going to happen where you are because you've already achieved that. But it's also very positive. I do want to emphasize there's a lot of positivity with the Ten of Diamonds financially in terms of abundance. Nine of Clubs, what did I just say? This is achievement. It's completion. It's completion. I'm not picking up a Pisces that needs to leave their job situation. It's just kind of denoting you've reached a lot of milestones lately. And perhaps they all came to a head in April. And you're feeling very satisfied with the Nine of Clubs. So there's no problems there, really. Sorry, I gotta get something to drink. Sometimes that incense, it just hits me the wrong way and bothers my throat. I like the smell of incense, I don't like the smoke. Especially first thing in the morning like this is. So, what else can come out here for Pisces before we look at advice? Oh, nice, King of Diamonds. You could be dealing with an earth sign in some kind of power position, power or authority, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. It could also be you taking real control over your financial future, which I'm kind of sensing, especially with that Ten of Diamonds. And like I said, I think you've recognized that whatever potential that you've reached in this position, there is nowhere else to go. It's kind of like it's spent. It's like it's spent. There's nothing left. You're not going to be able to get any higher. But again, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're taking real control of your finances here. If you're not dealing with an older, mature earth sign who has some power and authority, maybe not in general, but definitely over you, so they could be older. Just want to mention that, but they have very good business sense, especially around monetary matters, budgeting. Or again, that could be you. Eight of Clubs. Yeah, you're trying to reach some kind of decision here with the Eight of Clubs. You might be fixed on an outcome or some kind of idea that you've had for a while. I see this being very much in tune with the theme of the reading and needing to make a change, recognizing that you've reached your potential in probably a work situation. And the struggle and fight to kind of set some kind of boundaries and learn, and I think it involves learning this new skill or knowledge or gaining some kind of experience. The Eight of Clubs indicates you might be wondering what to do next with that new knowledge, with that new skill. Like, just because you learn the new skill, you still have to deal with finding the company you want to work for. What hours do you want to work? What terms are you willing to accept? It could be as simple as that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and look at cards of advice. Let me scoop these up so that we don't go off the camera frame. Might be about this decision that Pisces is trying to make in April 2023. And I do want to mention, if you like the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. I am using that to gauge which sign gets an extended reading next time around. So if you like to look at extended readings, I would encourage you to hit like on this video, okay? Seven of Hearts, Five of Spades so far is what we got. Okay, we got two here. Ten of Hearts, Black and White Joker. Nine of Spades. Interesting. So these are your cards of advice. You're going to need to break yourself off from something. That's blaringly in my face. I think it's that job situation. I think you need, like I said, there's some kind of potential that's been met, some kind of ceiling that you've hit. You're being encouraged to leave that situation because it's not fulfilling you. Seven of Hearts tells me it's a big disappointment. Like, perhaps you did have high hopes that you would be able to go further and further and further, but I feel like, no. It's confirming your suspicions, Pisces. If you've already figured that out, or you've been suspicious that you are being, kept down in a position or some kind of department that you'll never get out of. So there's a little bit of disappointment and pain around that. Not necessarily broken heart. Not like you're going home and crying on your pillow, but it's not what you were hoping for. It's as simple as that. With the Ten of Hearts and the Black and White Joker, though, this is exciting. So the Ten of Hearts tells me that on this path of breaking off from this old situation, which I do think you're in the midst of, that's Eight of Clubs. Making a decision, trying to figure out what to do next. It's going to lead to this ultimate happiness. It's going to wrap up, again, a major chapter. It's going to close this chapter. But with the Black and White Joker, that's also the Fool card energy, and the Fool is about not knowing what lies ahead, the unknown. It can be a little bit anxiety-provoking, but honestly, I think it's always positive. It just reminds us that we don't have a crystal ball. So if there's a little bit of hesitation on your part about, hey, I don't know what's going on ahead, and I feel safe here, and that's not necessarily a good thing, especially when it's wrapped up with the Ten of Hearts. Because that's all about celebration, happiness. It's the ultimate fulfillment, honestly. This is what's interesting. The Nine of Spades. This is kind of where this is all headed. This is a completion. This is a loss. So I think ultimately, whatever this career or position that you've had, and I do think this entire reading is emphasizing career, if I haven't made that clear already, it's going to feel like a loss to you because it's going to be hard for you perhaps to leave it because you've been involved with it for so long. You've invested so much of yourself in it. Maybe it was like your first job where you really stuck it out for a while and you did climb the ladder. But I think that ladder has reached its end. Ladders can't be infinite. That'd be a crazy potential if it could. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a completion here. That there's a loss. There's a lot of disappointment wrapped up with Nine of Spades. I think you really wanted it to go a lot further. Reach new heights, and it's just something you kind of have to accept that it's done. And look at that, you got the Tower card. Yeah, this is going to rock your world more than, it probably seems on the surface. Tower card is about rebirth. Again, it's a new start. You're rebuilding a structure on a very solid foundation. Just keep that in mind. You're rebuilding on a very solid foundation. The structure has to come down. Whatever you built, again, the time and energy you put into this, feeling like a loss, feeling like a major bummer or letdown. I think that's what you've been hesitating about, making this move, this change. But you've been stagnant in this. That stagnancy back here. Whoops, sorry. Need for change. You're recognizing that. That could be the epiphany that came out with the Seven of Spades. That you have to make this change, and it has to be soon. But you're on this new start, and yeah, in April, it looks like you are starting from ground zero. Whatever that move is, whatever that change is, whatever you end up deciding. And this is the entrepreneurial card, but it's also can be interpreted as a solo effort. And this is all being initiated by you. This is not like your employer giving you the vibe to leave or to resign. It's more about you taking the initiative to make a change and investing your time and energy into something that's going to pay off big. Eight of Diamonds is a fantastic card in the midst of this transformation that you're going through. Any more cards of advice for Pisces before we wrap it up? As we are almost at the end of the reading. Look at that. Yep. This is going to lead to some stress relief around the home. Not sure if the work situation was affecting your home life, maybe affecting you emotionally, and you were coming home, and even if there wasn't another person involved, it could have been just affecting your emotional health. So when you were off of work, you weren't necessarily enjoying it as much as you could because you were bummed out about the work situation. You were bummed out about the fact that you would have to leave. And I do want to acknowledge that when we leave these work situations, it's not just the job itself, it's the people. This could be what held you back, like you didn't want to leave your coworkers. Because if we are in a particularly supportive environment and we really appreciate our coworkers and we've developed relationships with them, connections, that could be all part of this Nine of Spades. That would actually make a lot of sense. That's the part that would hurt Pisces. Yeah. Seven of Hearts. Kind of talking about that, kind of mentioning that there. But you are going to be in some kind of stress relief here once you make this move. And I just want to show you this. Tower card, Eight of Diamonds, the solo effort, and the Four of Spades, all leading to stress relief. So it's ultimately going to ease your mind. Not just the stagnancy of the situation you've been, it's also going to ease your mind in a huge, huge way. It's going to pay off. Okay, Pisces, I am going to wrap it up there. Hope you enjoyed the reading. Hope it provided some insight. Again, I apologize for being a few days late. But thank you for joining me today. If you would like to see when the next reading comes out, you know what to do. Hit subscribe notifications. Also, don't forget to check out the description box for information on private readings coming up soon. It's not in there today, but it will be soon. Also, there's a link at the bottom of the description box if you're interested in making a small donation to help support the channel. I appreciate that if you're able to do that in advance, okay? Alright, hang in there and I will see you again soon. Take care, Pisces.